Welcome back, friends. As you can see, I'm out and about today. I am in the streets, as they say, having meetings and trying to do some necessary work. But one thing that I try to take with me, and which I tried to reflect on just a little bit on Sunday, was this attitude of thanksgiving, what some call the attitude of gratitude, right? Like, how do I live out grace? How do I say thank you with all my actions? And I got to thinking about it. Most of us, and I'll at least put myself there, I don't know if you fall into this category, but for me, I still occasionally fall back into the belief that I have to earn everything, that I have to work at everything, and that anything I do have is because I've earned it in some way, which is not the attitude of grace. It is the attitude with which I was raised. It's the implicit messaging behind much of what was presented to me growing up. You have to work hard every day, and you might get a little something as a result of your effort. That is sort of how my body was programmed. And yet communion, and this last Sunday was World Communion Sunday, strikes at the heart of that, stands in opposition to that, because communion is a table of abundance. It's about celebrating the bounty of God and about trusting in Creator to provide what we need, and to be reminded of that constant presence that is there to support us, lift us up, strengthen us so that we can go out and live compassionately. So, as I venture out and occasionally fall back into that gotta work hard, gotta commit, can't slow down, can't play, can't relax for too long because time is a-wasting. If I fall back into that, it's nice to have communion stop me where I am and remind me that I am connected and that nothing I do, no matter how quickly, will somehow get me out of the situation of being human. And so instead of rushing to everything, I can simply be where I am and then move to where I need to be next, and not worry myself dreadfully about whether I'm going to be there at a certain time or not. Don't worry, I'm not going to show up to Sunday service at 10:45 or 11. I'll be there on time, usually well before. But I do think, all joking aside, it's something to approach each day with grace, and to see our actions as an extension of grace, and to truly see who and what we are, maybe even what we have, as a gift, wholly and completely. Which is not to disparage the good work that we try to do and give ourselves over to, but it's to also remember that countless things could have happened to make whatever we have in front of us not be there. And so wherever we are and whatever we have, there's something about exhibiting gratitude. And it's not the kind of gratitude that's like, well, I could be like those people and they don't have anything. It's not that. I think sometimes we fall into that trap too. It's more about saying, okay, I have this today. This is given to me, this day, this moment, this energy, this insight, these resources. How am I going to share them to lift others up? Which is probably the greatest gift we can give to ourselves, after all, is that extension of grace. That's the funny thing about the mechanism of our life. We can't help but be even more wonderfully compensated when we help others. That's an insight that Ralph Waldo Emerson and countless others throughout the last few thousand years have registered, not just in Christianity, but in other religious traditions as well. So I think communion is a very nice intervention on Sundays, and perhaps throughout our week, whenever we break bread with people we love, or with strangers, with anybody that we meet. When we break bread and we make time to be present to them, to show up for them, there is an amazing sense of joy. There is an experience of gift and holiness in that time. And I hope and I pray that this week you can rest in those moments and fully embrace them when they come. I can't promise that every moment's going to feel like that, but I do encourage you to lean into those when they arrive or when you become aware of them happening, so that you can be nurtured and can continue to give the way that you are called to give and the way that you want to. Thanks for joining me this day for a little postscript reflection. I look forward to seeing you next week.